Alright, welcome back. It is first thing Monday morning. Concrete with the Hauses just showed up. Forecast is calling for rain today, pretty much every day this week. But Tom's got a plan.
Man with the plan.
Man with the plan. So they got the rebar and the mesh in. Now they're building a tent. Lean-to.
I think it could be leaving it flat too.
These rods are tight on that.
What up there?
Rods are tight on the concrete.
I don't think it's gonna break.
On the way a little bit.
I don't want to hurt that siding. Maybe I will go up next door, huh? I got 10 yards, yeah. So we'll just screw these boards together. We're 17 feet high, so you need a little extra room. So we'll just make our 2x4s longer, screw them together. Just make a lean-to tent, full plastic up it. Heck, you could probably live under here if you wanted to.
I could have put something like this up for the wedding we had here instead of the one.
Oh, Melissa would have loved it. Some Christmas lights, every third one burn out.
All right, concrete truck's here. This is just under a 10-yard pour.
So everybody has to be watching. It's going to make it so hard to pour this, but it's the only way to do it. If it would rain, which it's going to rain, we know it's going to rain.
You're good there. You're fine. I'll pull it. I don't want to move.
So this is a new mix design that we're trying out for thrower concrete today. They sent out a technician. I can't give away any details on the mix, but they're trying a couple different things, and we are the guinea pigs here. So Mike was agreeable to it. Let's see what happens. Keep them up, I don't want them back on. So we have wire mesh, 1/2-inch rebar. You can see we're about a 3x3, 3x4 grid. We have fiber mesh in the concrete. It's 4,000 PSI strength. So it should be able to withstand anything that Mike Morgan puts on. Did you tell Melissa about the new equipment you got? Don't worry about it. That's usually how Donna finds out I buy something.
Oh, that's not true. I got the green light on that. can't go out there.
Hold on, Scott.
All right, they just about got all the concrete on the ground. So far the rain's holding off, but it's definitely coming. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit right now, actually. But this guy right here, he's from Thrower Concrete. He's taken some samples. They did kind of a, this is kind of an experimental pour here, I guess you could say. They're trying a new mix design, like super top secret in the concrete world, I guess. But they guaranteed it. If I ever have any troubles with this, they will pay to rip it out, do everything, you know, replace it. So I said, yeah, why not? Let's try it.
Test cylinders to check the PSI on the concrete, and they'll do, what do you do, a 7-day and 28-day? 28-day brake test.
It was like, all right, well,
What do you hope for? 7-day, you're looking around 335, 4, 35, 4. 28-day, 28-day, so for around 5,000 pounds per square inch. For every square inch of concrete, that's the amount of pressure it would take to break it. So definitely any car, any truck should be able to run on it before it fractures the surface.
So I think this is about almost 80 yards total right here.
Yeah, what did we add up last week? It sounds about
Yeah,
right.
I think it was like 79 and a half or something,
Yeah.
or 69 and a half, and then another 10 here today.
Yeah.
That's good.
So you want to get these connected up and head down to the wood shop?
I think we'll hold off for a little bit. Although we are going to pour a like a firewood bin down there. We'll do that. You know, a floor. I'll get some of this big concrete block and something I can run that conveyor right into. You know,
Sounds
pour a
good.
pad
Whenever
down
you're
there.
ready.
So Tom and the guys are up there finishing the concrete. This was going to be a concrete video, but the guys from Thrower down here were checking out the Wolfe Ridge splitter here. I think the tent was a good idea that Tom put up there.
Yeah, I would say you're right.
How many trucks does Thrower Concrete have?
Mixers, we actually own around 30 mixers. We run 25 every day. Everyone in the area now moved to the front discharge mixers that you've been seeing at your
Yeah,
site.
when did that happen? Because I remember years ago.
Years ago, it was all rear discharges, which was awesome because they don't cost as much. And then a local company started with the fronts, and it just escalated, and everybody wanted fronts, so we had to change over. We keep the rears now for if you got to get into a low area, like a building that's low, or like the local mines, like a lot of the mines, you can't get the trucks in, where my rears, I can still drive in. So we keep a couple of them on hand, but we don't run them every day.
Yeah, I noticed in some of our videos, a lot of places in the country still don't use the front discharge.
No, it's still going around here. And what is really funny is my grandfather had one of the first front discharges made. It was back in the early 70s. They came out with one, and it was made by Mack, and it was the most miserable truck I've ever sat in my entire life. It's nothing like these new ones. The cab was literally smaller than a phone booth.
Yeah.
And they didn't have automatic transmissions. It was a standard. So you had to shift like this. and my grandfather, the way he was, They used to have the same chute, you know, like basic, the same design where you could move the chute from in the cab.
Yeah.
Well, the motor went bad, and my grandpa's like, we're not paying that kind of money for that. That's before my time. He just cut the chain off and threw the motor out and told the contractors pull harder. Yeah.
How long Strower been in business?
We're about 65 years now. I think it's 1959. Yeah, 1959 was when my grandfather actually started the concrete end. He had the trucking end a couple years before, but 59 was when he started it. And so he got to make it to see the company turn 50. That was like his goal in life.
That's awesome.
And he passed away the year that the company turned 50, but he made it. So.
And what do you do, Bob?
I do a little bit of everything. Safety, HR, concrete tech.
Okay.
So he's my right-hand man.
How many employees you got total?
I'd say we're about
Close to 60.
We're right around 60 now. Yeah. So
That's what I was telling Tom. You know, I love people that work hard, small business owners, big, anyone that puts into work, and I just appreciate it. Especially Tom's crew's fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything we've been doing up here, we've had some really good guys out here, and we're just really pleased with it. So,
yeah, Tom is he's a special finisher. I'll say that. We really, I'm glad that we got him over to us. He wasn't using us years ago, and then he decided to come back. He had some quality, and then he came over, and it's amazing. He's been there nonstop. One of the easiest guys to work with.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of good finishers, a lot of good guys that work with us. But Tom, you never get them phone calls like you get from some other people.
Yeah.
Some people just are still
Screamers, flip out.
Yeah. Like I don't know if you've been around many finishers, but a lot of finishers, as soon as that first drop of concrete hits the chute, you know, they get all antsy. And, and Tom he's always, like, even with this rain, this little bit of rain we have, the way that he handles it, you know, I've seen the other guys, you know, I've seen that are, you know, screaming at their guys, and
we talked about that, Tom and I said how calm he is, and he admitted he wasn't always that way, you know, when he was first getting started and learning. And I was a blaster for years. I blew stuff up for a living. And when I was younger, you know, I used to get anxious and nervous about things and worked up, but getting all excited and yelling and screaming doesn't get you anywhere. All it does is cause more problems.
Well, that's what I grew up with. So I've been at the concrete plant, like people ask me, how long have you been there? And I tell them 3 days after I was born. Because I'm not kidding, like, after I came out of the hospital, I was in the back office. That's where I was raised. I was raised my entire life here, and for some reason my pap really, like, he took a liking to me, and I was fortunate. I got to spend a lot of time with him, and I learned real quick, you know, he was a yeller. He would go crazy on me.
Everybody was then, though, you know.
But the funny thing was, if Bob did something wrong and he was mad at Bob, he wouldn't yell at Bob. He would yell at Jimmy over here. It was the funniest thing, but he was the greatest man I ever known. And but I learned I don't yell at all.
Yeah.
Like this morning, I'm on my way to the job site here. I was doing some emails this morning. I'm on the way to check this out. I get a phone call from my manager, operations manager during the day that, you know, handles all the maintenance. We just had an accident with some trucks. And I'm like, what do you mean? You know, my main concern is, what, did someone get in an accident on the road? Or, you know, I was all, he's like, no, don't worry. It was two of our trucks that ran into each other in the parking lot. And I said, how did that happen? And he goes, well, the guy was backing up and the other guy was setting in line to load. And he goes, the guy was backing up and he was looking to make sure nobody was on his right side. And he didn't even see the truck, and he drove straight through the chutes. He took the radiator out, the pump out. I mean, he pretty much destroyed a truck this morning.
Oh boy.
And I told Tom, like, well, start tearing it apart, you know.
Yeah.
Where 10 years ago I would have been going goofy, but I've learned that doesn't get you nowhere.
Yep.
You know, just, you know, take whatever comes and roll.
Yep.
So,
well, the rain's starting to pick up. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. I really like your splitter. This thing's pretty cool.
I like the Sawmill.
Good call on the tent, Tom.
We're filming each other,
Good call.
Yeah, good. You know, and like I said earlier in the video, you know, watch it not even rain, because we built a tent. But if we didn't build a tent, of course it would be raining. So
Yep.
rain's finally here. Let's look underneath here. Not a drop of water hit that concrete anywhere.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so, and the nice thing, every job's different, right? But here we made it high enough, we can work under it. Sometimes you got to get them close to the ground, and it just makes it messier, harder to do. But that's why we went for it today, because we knew we could do it and make it workable.
Yeah, like you say, this whole week's rain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Things just pile up.
If we're only waiting one day, maybe just cancel the project for a day. But yeah, you got to get out and make money, you know.
Yeah.
Can't miss every day. So here we are.
What kind of sealer's that?
This is called SRT from ChemMaster. I think I talked about this before in my videos. We did a project for Walmart years ago, and they insisted that we use this product. So we did actually 2 miles of street walk. It was 5 foot wide by 2 miles long, and we did it in November. Not the best pouring conditions, and I went back 1 month later in December, and it was covered in salt, big piles of snow both sides of it, and they'd salted it every day, and it looked like we just poured it. And I went back the next year, still looked good. I wouldn't be afraid to drive down there today and take a look at it. So ever since then, we put this on everything we do outside, and we've had good luck with it, good results. I'm no chemist, but they claim this is a curing compound, lets the concrete dry slower, which makes it stronger, more durable. It's a surface sealer, keeps the water, salts from penetrating the surface, gives it protection that way, as well as a penetrating sealer. And this is what I find hard to believe, and I'm sure there's people out there that are going to argue this point. It penetrates the surface of the concrete and gives it deep surface protection. That's what they claim. We've had great luck with it. Maybe I'll throw it on the YouTube with a link. You guys can research it. If you want to use it, I highly recommend it.
So all told here, I think we're around 4,200 square feet of concrete, close to just about 80 yards. All right, the guys just left. We just checked the radar. There's definitely more rain coming. As long as we don't get any wind, you know, a lot of wind, we should be fine. But everything looks great. Get a little better look here. But boy, Tom's right. As much as I love stone, I sure like that a lot better. All right, it's now Monday evening, and Tom was just here a little bit ago, and he just left. But we got the tent all tore down, all the forms off, pins put away. Everything's good to go. It can pour down rain right now. It won't hurt a thing. But they did another wonderful job. I'm really pleased with it. The whole tent idea was a brilliant idea. You know, like he said earlier, they're calling for rain all this week, and he's got jobs to do. He said it's a little bit more work, but I know we can get it done without any problems. And sure enough, there it is. But they did a great job. I wanted to show you something over here. This little spot over here that I left out, I know I'm going to get a ton of comments. You should have done this or you should have done that. But you're going to have to trust me on that. I have big plans for that spot right there, and it's going to work out perfectly. Also, another reason I did that, I kind of wanted to separate where you drive from the patio, right? Now, eventually, this is all going to be concrete right out here, over this way just a little bit, and then the swimming pool will be over there start somewhere in the middle of this pile of dirt and go down in front of the patio. As far as the swimming pool goes, we were supposed to get it 1st of June, but with that Texas freeze and all that and a resin shortage, everything got kind of pushed back, and they came back and said they could probably do it middle or end of August, I believe. But at this point, Melissa and I decided to wait until spring. We're getting close to fall right now. It wouldn't be a bad idea to go ahead and get it put in and everything would be ready to go first thing in the spring. But at this point, we're just kind of getting things put back together over here, so we'll just wait on that, and we'll do that next year. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. Don't forget to check out Tom's channel, Concrete with the Hauses. He did a good job kind of explaining what he did here and why. I was just kind of walking around with the camera today, BSing with people, but it was a good day. But anyway, like I always say, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like button, click subscribe, and share them with your friends. Thanks.